The story opens inside a small-town auto repair shop. The light is dim, the floor is stained with oil, and the old clock ticks loudly on the wall. Ethan, the mechanic dad, wipes grease from his hands, exhaustion heavy on his face. He's been working since dawn, but instead of resting, he looks over at a pile of unpaid bills stacked on the counter. You can see the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Life hasn't been kind, he's raising his daughter alone after losing his wife, and every day feels like a battle to keep the shop alive. But despite all the hardship, he never lets his little girl feel the burden. Just then, the shop door creaks open and his daughter runs in, carrying a crayon drawing of the two of them holding hands under a bright sun. Her smile is pure joy. Ethan's tired expression melts into warmth. He kneels down, hugs her tight, and tells her how proud he is. It's late afternoon, and Ethan is about to close his shop for the day. The sun is dipping low, painting the sky in shades of orange. Just then, the quiet of the small town is broken by the clunky rattle of an old farm truck sputtering its way into his driveway. Smoke curls out from under the hood, the engine gasping like it might give up at any second. Behind the wheel is Clara, a young woman in muddy boots and a worn flannel shirt. She looks exhausted, her hands rough and her hair tied back like she's been working in the fields all day. Stepping out, she apologizes nervously, explaining that this truck is all she has to haul her produce to the farmer's market. Without it, she'll lose her income for the week. Her voice falters when she admits she doesn't have much money to pay for repairs. Most mechanics might turn her away or do the bare minimum. But Ethan doesn't even hesitate. He sees the worry in her eyes and recognizes the same struggle he feels every day, the weight of survival. He puts a hand on the hood, nods, and says gently, "Don't worry. I'll take care of it." Even though he's bone-tired and knows this means working late into the night, Ethan chooses compassion. In that moment, it's not just about fixing a truck, it's about helping someone who reminds him of himself. Night has fallen. The shop is quiet except for the steady clink of tools and the low hum of a lamp. Ethan, sleeves rolled up, is bent over the truck's engine, sweat and grease streaking his face. His hands are tired, blistered, but he keeps working with patient determination. On a chair in the corner, his little daughter has fallen asleep, curled up with her blanket, her tiny hand clutching the crayon drawing she gave him earlier. Every so often, Ethan glances at her, his expression softening. She's the reason he keeps pushing forward. Though Clara had admitted she couldn't pay much, Ethan goes far beyond the basics. He changes the oil, replaces a nearly bald tire, and even patches up a hidden wiring issue that could have caused future breakdowns. All quietly, without charging her a cent extra. As he wipes his hands on a rag, his daughter stirs awake and whispers sleepily, "Daddy, why do you help people so much, even when we don't have a lot?" Ethan kneels beside her, tucking the blanket around her shoulders. He smiles gently and replies, "Because kindness is worth more than money. Someday, you'll see." She drifts back to sleep, and Ethan turns back to the truck, his resolve unshaken. For him, kindness isn't a business strategy, it's who he is. The next morning, sunlight spills through the dusty shop windows as Clara returns. She stops in her tracks when she sees her truck, not only repaired but running smoother than it has in years. Ethan is already there, tightening the last bolt, his daughter sitting nearby with a proud little smile. Clara walks closer, astonished. "You did all this? I thought I could only pay for the basics." Ethan shrugs modestly, wiping his hands on a rag. "I fixed what needed fixing. You've got work to do, and that truck is your lifeline. Don't worry about the cost, we'll make it fair." For a moment, Clara just studies him, this weary mechanic, working tirelessly for strangers, not asking for praise or reward. She feels something shift inside her. Quietly, she steps outside, pulls out her phone, and makes a call. Minutes later, she comes back and says softly, almost hesitantly, "Ethan, there's something you don't know about me. I'm not just a farmer's daughter. My family owns one of the largest farming companies in the state." Ethan freezes, rag in hand. He blinks, unsure if he heard right. Clara's eyes well with emotion. I didn't want people to treat me differently, so I came here as just me. And you, without knowing who I was, showed me more kindness than I've ever seen. The words hang in the air, heavy with meaning. Ethan glances at his daughter, then back at Clara. For the first time in a long while, he feels that maybe, just maybe, life is about to change. Clara doesn't just hand Ethan payment for the repair. She offers him something far greater. With quiet conviction, she explains. My family's company owns hundreds of farm trucks. They all need maintenance, and I want you to handle it. Not just because you're skilled, but because you're the kind of man the world needs more of. Ethan stares at her in disbelief, his grease-stained hands trembling slightly. For so long, he's lived paycheck to paycheck, wondering how to keep the lights on and food on the table for his daughter. Now, suddenly, the weight he has carried for years begins to lift. His daughter runs into his arms, sensing the change even if she doesn't fully understand it. Ethan holds her tight, eyes misting over, and whispers. We're gonna be okay now, sweetheart. We're finally gonna be okay. The camera of imagination pulls back, the little shop bathed in morning light, the once broken truck now rumbling steadily. And Ethan standing taller than before, not just because his future is secured, but because his kindness was seen, valued, and rewarded. As he looks out at the rising sun, Ethan realizes a truth he's always lived by but never fully understood until now. When you give selflessly, the world has a way of giving back in ways you could never imagine.